welcome to Facebook. Hi, welcome. Welcome to Facebook. Hello, welcome to SPOTO Facebook Live. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear my voice? Hi. Welcome everybody. Okay, so my voice is clearly, right? Okay, so now I'm keep going. So today's topic is MPLS. Ri is going to talk about why MPLS and IP forwarding principle and lab forwarding principle. Before Ri speaking, I want to share a story for you guys. Okay. First, I want to congratulate for Aaron, who passed the CCIE routing switching and writing exam. Yeah, congratulations for Alan. I'm so happy to share Alan's successful experience in passing the CCIE routing and switching writing exam. Congratulations, Alan, again. Alan was an information technology student at the University of Auckland. I think New Zealand is a very pretty place. I mean pretty country. I like there. I have been New Zealand several times and I like there. Thank you. Alan met bottleneck of his job at the beginning of this year. His company offered a great opportunity for overseas work next year. He wants to take this opportunity, but one of the job requirements is CCIE routing and switching. In the beginning, he used some practice books, such as some Cisco Influence guidebook. Also, he heard that some videos on the YouTube are useful. And he found the relative technology videos, such as network chart. Have you watched network chart video before? He's very funny guy and I like him. His video is very interesting. I was watching that and I feel it's quite comfortable and easy to understand. But for Alan's case, he found that was very difficult to study alone. I agree with him because study alone, you will be find a lot of excuse. Maybe I'm tired. I will study tomorrow or something else. So he study a Cisco study group online. He want to get help from study group. He find a lot of Cisco study group, including SPOTO including SPOTO Cisco study group on WhatsApp. He was attracted by bypass CCIE writing exam in 7 days with SPOTO. Yes, network chalk. And Alan was wondering how come in 7 days to pass CCIE routine switching writing exam. So he comes to me with this question and his situation on 6th of June. I made a private group and special group for him and invite SPOTO instructor Dennis to give him a test at the first time. The reason for the test, which is help Dennis to understand how many does Aaron know about CCIE routing and switching. After it, Dennis gave a study plan and advice for Alan. He booked the exam beginning of July and studied with SPOTO at the end of June. So he passed the CCIE routing and switching exam on 8th of July. Congratulations, Adam. I hope you are here. Maybe he's busy on preparing CCIE lab routing and switching lab exam. Also, Alan books the exam on December, so all the best for Alan. I think the best CCIE track is in SPOTO Club. By the way, Dennis helped more than 1,400 SPOTO members to obtain CCIE certification. So if you want to get a study plan and advice from Dennis, please scan this QR code and join SPOTO Cisco study group. Text me and leave your email. Let me know what do you want to study and I will make a private group for you. By the way, I'm SPOTO admin Judy. If you join this group, you can find me in the group. Okay, and now I will invite Ray to speak about MPLS. Let's welcome Ray, please.
So hello guys. Hello, so can you hear me clearly? So I'm SPOTO's instructor. My name is Ray. Okay, so today we are going to talk about the MPLS protocol. Okay, so if you are ready, so we can begin today's live class. Okay, so first we need to know what's MPLS. Yes. And I think maybe some of you have learned something about the internet. Yes, maybe some of you know switch, some of you know the routers, and you learn about some routing protocols such as the RIP, the EIGRP, and OSPF. And you know this protocols let the routers can exchange the routing information between each other, yes, so that the routers can learn the information and finally they will generate a table called the routing table, yeah. And when the router receives an IP packet, the router will forward the packet according to the routing table. Yes, I think most of you maybe know this. So this is the basic knowledge of the routing and the switch. But today we are going to talk about the MPLS. The biggest difference between the MPLS and the routing table is, I said, the MPLS and the routing protocols. The biggest difference is the MPLS will use the label to forward the packet instead of the IP address. Okay, so this is the biggest difference. So at first I want to tell you about this. And so next we are going to learn about the MPLS. And for this course we will divide it into 3 parts, okay. So first one is why we need to use the MPLS. And so when we try to learn the MPLS, we need to know the IP forwarding principles and the label forwarding principles. Okay, so for these 3 parts, we need to learn these knowledges. And actually, this class is about the basic knowledge of the MPLS. Okay, so in the same time, on the Tuesday, we have another live. We will talk more knowledge about the MPLS. Okay. And for the first page, we can see here, I want to ask you a question. So when the router receives the IP packet, what will it do? Yes. So this is the first question about the IP forwarding table. So this is the basic knowledge. And I think maybe most of you will say the router will forward the packet according to its own routing table. Yes. Actually, the answer is right. And so, let's see this example. From this topology is very simple. Just we have one router called RTA and this is the internet. So if the RTA receives an IP packet with the destination address is 2.2.2.2. Yes. So next, the RTA will check its own routing table at first. Okay, so and the RTL will find the routing entries that can match the destination IP address. We need to know this. So actually, let's do this together. Okay. So let's try to find which routing entries can match the IP packet. Okay. So first we need to know if we use the destination address with the mask and use the algorithm called logic AND to calculate it. Okay, so this is the algorithm. And so next we're going to check it. So first one is 0, 0, 0, 0, and the mask length is 0. So we know this is the default route. Yes, you notice that it's default route. It means it can match all the destination IP address. So this is the first point, is the default route. It can match all the IP packet. But we can't just forward the packet according to this default route. Yes? So we need to check the last routing entries. So next one is the same. Yes. So for this one, 1.1.1.1, and our destination is 2.2.2.2. It can't match. Yes. So next one is 2.2.2.2. And for this one, when we use the destination to compare it with this routing address, we can find they can match each other. Yes, they can match. And so at this time, we still can't forward the packet directly. We must search all the routing table. Okay, so for this one, when you find a routing entry that can match the destination, remember, you can't forward it directly. You must search all the routing table. So we need to do this. For the next one is 2.2.2.2, and actually we found this one can also match the destination IP address. Yes, and but we found that here the mask length is different. This one is 24, this one is 32. Yes, so we keep going on to try to find the routing address that can match the destination. And for this one, 3.3.3.3, no. This one, no. And we can find all the last address cannot match the destination IP address. So all the last one cannot match. So when we finish this step, we will find we have 3 different routing entries can match the destination IP address. So we can find here, first one is 0.0.0.0, okay, with the mask length is 0. And the second one is 2.2.2.2 with the mask length is 24. And the third one is, sorry, this one is 0. And the third one is 2.2.2.2 with the mask length is 32. And we can find here these 3 entries can match the destination IP address. But the question is, which one the router will forward it according to? So this is our question. I think maybe most of you have learned about this knowledge. It's called the longest mask matching principle. It means if the routing address with the longest match, so this one is 32, this one is 24, this one is 0. So this one is the longest. So it means the router will forward the packet according to this one with the longest mask. Okay, so this is the IP forwarding principle. So remember this, we must, okay, sorry, I just summarize it. So first one, when the router RTA receives the IP packet, first the router needs to check the packet. This is the IP packet. And to check the destination address is 2.2.2.2. And then next, it means the second step, the router needs to check always routing table to find the entries that can match the destination address. So in this example, we can find the router can find 3 entries that can match the destination IP address. Okay, so the last step is the router will compare the mask length of all the matched entries to find the longest one, so that the router will forward it according to the longest entrance. Okay, so understand this one. And so after we learn about this, maybe some of you will have a question. Is maybe a long time ago, maybe 20 years ago, I mean in the 1990s, the performance of the router device was not strong. Yes, was not strong. And so we can find here, for this topology, we have this topology actually is not large. We have 4 different routers here: RT, RTB, RTC, and RTD. So when RTA wants to visit RTD, so it means 1.1.1.1 wants to visit 4.4.4.4. Yeah. So at this time, the RTA will send an IP packet to RTD. Yes. So the RTA will generate an IP packet with the source IP address is 1.1.1.1 and the destination address is 4.4.4.4. And then the RTA will search its own routing table. Yes. To search its own routing table and to find the entries that can match the destination IP address 4.4.4.4, and the RTA will search all the routing table and find all the entries that can match the destination and search the longest length with the entries. Then the RTA will forward it according to this entries. Okay? So that's the same with this step. We have 3 steps when the router receives the IP packet. So for the first one, RTA will do these 3 steps. Okay? And so RTA will find the entries with the longest match, and then RTA can find the outgoing interface is E0/0, and the next hop is 10.1.20.2. Yes. So the RTL will forward the packet to RTB. So when RTB receives this IP packet, also RTB will do the 3 steps to forward the packet to RTC. And actually RTC also need to do these 3 steps to forward it to RTD. Okay, so we can find here, it means routers will forward the IP packet hop by hop, but each router needs to do the 3 steps we just talked in this page. First one, check the destination address, and the second one, check all the routing table, find the matched entries. The third one, select the longest match with the entries, and next one, forward it. Yes. So I just talk about this maybe in the 20 years ago. In that time, the performance of routers and maybe other device was not strong. So the forwarding principle of the IP packet affect the forwarding speed. Yes, all the routers need to do these 3 steps. So the forwarding speed is not so fast, and the MPLS technique appeared. The MPLS use short and fixed length labels for data forwarding instead of the IP address. MPLS use the short and fixed length labels, and this technique greatly improving the forwarding ability under hardware limitation. So this I just said 20 years ago. But in our today's life, and we have different layer 3 device, the routers, the firewall, the layer 3 switch, and now the device performance is very strong, and why we still need to use MPLS today? Yeah, so this is the question. Because MPLS is a very widely used technical, and it uses the labels to forward the packet. So it means the MPLS can support other technicals. And maybe I think some of you heard about the MPLS VPN. Yes, it's widely used in the internet service provider. And maybe some of you heard about the MPLS-TE. Okay, and the biggest feature of the MPLS is it can support multiple layers labels. So it means maybe the packet has 1 layers labels, and also some packets can have 2, can have 3 layers labels. So this is the advantages about MPLS. So it is still it's why MPLS appears and why we still use MPLS today. Okay, so next we are going to learn the basic knowledge of the MPLS. So first, the biggest difference I just said, the MPLS will use the label to forward the packet. So we can see here, first one, MPLS actually is added between the layer 2, the Ethernet, and the network layer. It's between these 2 layers. Actually, you can say the MPLS is 2.5 layers. Yes, and we can see here this header about the MPLS is called the multiple protocol level switching header, and we have the label here. And for this one, the label is 1026. And this label is very important because the packet will be forwarded according to this label. Okay, and so we can see it here for this topology, and this packet we can find here. There's no MPLS between the Ethernet 2 and the network layer. Yes, so this is the normal IP packet, and the IP packet will be forwarded according to the destination IP address. Yes, but for the MPLS we add a new header here. And the label information is in this header, and the packet will be forwarded according to this one. This is very important. Okay, so next we see this topology here. It's the same topology and same requirements. RTS 1.1.1.1 wants to visit RTD 4.4.4.4. Yes, and actually the RTA will generate a packet. Yes. So for this topology, we know that we configure the MPLS. So RTA will generate a packet just like this. So we know that if the router wants to forward the packet according to the IP packet, it needs to search the IP forwarding table. But if the router wants to forward the packet according to the label, we have a forwarding table called the MPLS forwarding table. Okay, it's just like the IP forwarding table. We have a MPLS forwarding table, just like the label forwarding table. Okay, so we need to know this. And for this one, the RTA will generate the packet just like this one. Okay, just like this one. And the label is 1022. The RTA will search the destination address is 4.4.4.4. It means the out label is this one. When RTA send the label to send the packet to RTB, RTA can find the outgoing interface is this one, and the next hop is this one according to this label. Okay, the RTA will find the outgoing interface and the next hop IP address according to this label. So it means between RTA and RTB, this part, the IP packet has the label 1022 here. Okay, and then next, when RTB receives this MPLS packet, RTB will search the MPLS forwarding table with the in label 1022 here. And this in label is unique here. It means when RTB search the MPLS forwarding table, it can use one search and uniquely match. So it means RTB doesn't need to search all the MPLS forwarding table. It just need to search one entry that can match the in label. Okay. So for this one, RTB search the MPLS forwarding table, find the in label is 1026 here, 26 here. So it means the outgoing label is this one, and the destination is 4.4.4.4, and then RTB will find more information about the outgoing interface and the next hop IP address. So actually for RTB here, RTB first will remove the in label 1026 and check the MPLS forwarding table, find the outgoing label is this one. RTB will add a new label is 1025 here. So it means RTB will remove the in label and add a new out label. And then RTC receives this label. RTC will do the same thing. Okay, so let's summarize here. When RTC receives a MPLS packet here, so first RTC will check the destination. RTC will check the label in the packet. So the label is 1025. Yes. So RTC will use this label to search its own MPLS forwarding table. Okay. And if RTC can find a entry that can match the label, so maybe this entry is 1025, the destination is this one, and actually the RTC can find more information about outgoing interface and the next hop IP address. Okay, so RTC will remove the in label 1025 and then add a new label according to this information. Is the outgoing label is this one, 1024 here. Okay, so at last for RTD here, RTD will do the same thing, check the label, search the MPLS forwarding table, and find the information here, and then RTD will remove the label and then forward it to the destination network segment. Okay, so this is the process about the MPLS forwarding. So we know the biggest difference is the MPLS can forward the packet according to the label, and then the MPLS doesn't need to search all the MPLS forwarding table. It just need to search one entry that can match the label. It's okay. So just don't like the IP forwarding table. IP forwarding table, you need to search all the routing table, but for MPLS, you just need to search one entry. Okay. So about this one, we learn about the MPLS forwarding principles, and we learn about the whole process about this. And for this one is the packet. We can talk about this. For this packet here, okay, we have some key, very important information. So first one is the MPLS label. It means your label value is just like the IP address. It's used to guide the MPLS packet. So it is very important. And for this one, the XP, it means the QS, quality of servers, is used to do the QS. We have different numbers here, and the number is ranged from 0 to 7. The higher the value, the higher the priority, you know this. And for this one, if the value is 7, it means you have the highest priority. And when the routers receive the MPLS label, maybe first one is 7 and the second one is 0. So it means this one with the 7 value will be forward at first. Okay, and so for next one is called the MPLS bottom of the label stack. So it means I just said it at the beginning of the class. The MPLS can support multiple layers. Multiple layers. Maybe we have 2 layers of the labels. Maybe the inner label is this one, and also we can have an out label. Maybe this is 10. So we have multiple layers, and this technique is most widely used MPLS VPN and MPLS TE. Okay, so if you want to learn this technique, you need to learn MPLS at first. Okay, so this one means if this value is 1, it means it's the bottom of the left stack, and you can see here behind this layer there's no more MPLS label header. Okay, if this one is 1, it means behind this header there's no more MPLS header. And for this one, MPLS TTL. And this value means the time to live, as most of you learn it in the IP table, IP header. Okay, this one you just remember TTL is used to prevent the loop. Okay, it's used to prevent the loop, and the default value is 255 when the packet was transmitted through one router. The value will minus 1. Okay, so if the value is 0, it means the packet is dead. Okay, you know this. And so this is about the MPLS packet. Okay, so we know this, we know the packet, we know how the router forwards the label according to the label. And so next we need to know how can we establish the label switching path. Yes, we need to establish the path, and then we have 2 ways to create a label path here. So just like about the routing table here, about the routing protocol, and when we try to configure the network, and if you try to use the OSPF to configure the network, it's the dynamic routing protocol. And also when you learn about the routing protocol, we have a static routing protocol and a dynamic routing protocol. Yes, and also when we try to build a label switching path, this is the label switching path. Yes, just like this one. This is the label switching path. This red line forward the packet from RTA to RTD. This is the label switching path. I can call it LSP. And when we're trying to establish the LSP, we have 2 ways here. The first one is the static LSP, and the second one is the dynamic LSP, just like the routing protocol. And so first one, when we try to use the static LSP, the user establishes a forwarding path by manually assigning the labels to each router. So this is called the static. Just like the static routing table, when you're trying to configure the static routing table, you need to use the command just like the IP row static, yes, and then you need to configure the destination IP address and the destination IP address mask length, and then next you need to configure the outgoing interface or the next hop IP address, yes. So this is the static, and maybe some of you will think the static is simple, yes, the configuration is easy, but when you try to configure a large network, it's very hard for you to do this because you need to configure all the destination IP address according to the static route. It's too hard for you. It will take you a large number of the time, yes, and also it can't change automatically. Okay, so this is the static RSP. So we seldom use the static RSP to configure the MPLS because the configuration actually is, the command is hard to remember and we seldom use it. So next one is the dynamic RSP. So it means the forwarding tunnel is dynamically established through the label distributing protocol. So this protocol is most widely used in the MPLS. It's called LDP protocol. Okay, that's the shortcut of the label distributing protocol. It's called the LDP protocol. Okay, so we have these two ways, and for the SPOTO's next sharing class, we will tell you about the LDP protocol. Okay, for the next SPOTO live class. Okay, so we just keep going about the MPLS. We have the static and the dynamic, and so when you try to configure it, one principle is very important. You need to remember it. We find here, if RTA wants to visit RTD's 4.4.4.4, yes. So in this time, RTA needs to know the level, how to go to the 4.4.4.4, yes. RTA needs to know the path, know the level switching path. Okay, so for this, RTA will forward the packet through this red line to RTD, yeah. So we need to know this one. RTA is the upstream. Okay, RTA is upstream and RTD is the downstream. Okay, you need to know the direction. RTA is the upstream, RTD is the downstream. We divide it according to the direction of the traffic. You know, RTA sends the packet to RTD. So this one is up, this one is down. Okay, so next, RTD needs to know the out level about this network. Okay, so when we try to configure the static MPLS, you need to configure, maybe for this one, the out level is 19. Yes, so it means the RTA will send the packet with the level 19 to RTB. And so when RTB receives this MPLS packet, RTB needs to know what's the meaning of the level. Okay, what's the meaning of the level? So you need to configure the static multiple to tell RTB, if you receive some MPLS packet with the level 19, so it means the destination address is 4.4.4.4, and you need to remove the in level and you need to add a new out level is 18, and then you need to forward it through E0/1 to the next hop 10.1.32.3. Yes, so this all the information I just talk about this. RTB need to know what's the meaning of this one, and they need to know if you want to go to this network segment, the out level is this, and the outgoing interface and the next IP address. You need to configure all this information manually. Okay, you need to do this, all the configuration, all the information. And then when RTB receives the packet, you need to know what's the meaning of the in level 18 and the out level is 19. It's 70, okay, it's 70. And also at last for RTD here, the in level is 17 and the out level is none. It means the RTD has the directly connection with the directly network segment. So the out level is none. And for this whole process, we just talk about how to configure the static MPLS. the principle here is it's very important. You need to remember this. The downstream inbound level is equal to the upstream outgoing level. So this is very important. We can find here, this is the upstream's out level, and this is the downstream's in level. Yeah, they must be the same with the same destination IP address. Okay? And for the next one, this is the upstream out level, and this one is the downstream in level. They are the same, and they are the same. All these levels means the destination address is this one. Okay, so this is about the MPLS and about the static MPLS, and the configuration of the static MPLS is a little difficult. So we seldom use it in our real network. We always use the dynamic MPLS. So the protocol called the LDP protocol. So it's called LDP protocol. Okay. So for the configuration about the LDP protocol, we can find here. For this topology, we have 4 different routers here. And for these routers, at first, so when you try to do this lab, so you need to listen carefully. First, you need to do the basic configuration. So I mean, the first one is you need to configure the IP address. So it's very easy. And then next is this. You need to deploy the IGP protocol. The IGP protocol means the interior gateway protocol. So just like the static, the OSPF, the EIGRP, and the RIP. So you need to deploy the IGP protocol. So it means you need to let the network communicate with each other. Okay, you need to do this one. So maybe for example, you configure all the OSPF protocol of these routers. Each router has run about the OSPF protocol, ABCD, and then all the routers can communicate with each other according to the IP address. But we want them to communicate according to the level. So next, we need to configure the MPLS just like this, okay? We need to configure the MPLS. So first one, we need to enable the function of the IP forwarding, and this one is the default configuration. It means you don't need to configure this command. It's enabled in the default situation. And for this one, it means the MPLS level protocol. We use the LDP protocol. It's called the level distributing protocol. It's used to distribute the level, okay? And when we finish the configuration of the LDP protocol, it means the RTD will distribute the level from the downstream to the upstream, okay? For this red line, the direction is from the downstream to the upstream. It means RTA will distribute the packet to RTC, and then RTC will distribute it to RTB. RTB will distribute it to RTA. Okay. So more details, if you want to learn more details, and I will tell you in our next SPOTO sharing class. Okay. So let's go now about the configuration. You just need to know this. RTD will generate the level and distribute it to RTC, to RTB, and to RTA. Okay, so this is the configuration. And the next one, this one is important, okay guys? Listen carefully. This one, the MPLS LDP router ID here. Router ID. So I think most of you learned about the OSPF. In OSPF, you need to configure the router ID. Also in BGP, you need to configure the router ID. So I think the router ID just like the name of the routers. Yeah, just like the name. It's used to indicate the router uniquely. So remember this one. In MPLS, we also need to configure the router ID. You must configure it. You cannot configure it. Okay, you must configure it. Okay. And for this one, we use actually we use the loopback IP address to configure the root ID. So it means I will use the IP address of the loopback 0 to be the root ID of the RTA, RTP, RTC, and RTD. And actually, the first key point here we must know. We must ensure that the LDP router ID is reachable. Okay, it means if you configure the root ID of the RTA is 1.1.1.1, if you configure the root ID of RTB is 2.2.2.2, and this principle means you must can use this IP address, ping this IP address. They must can communicate with each other, okay? So it means the first step, you must network this loopback network segment, and then you can let the LDP root ID communicate with each other, okay? So this is the two key points when you configure the LDP protocol. Okay, so this is the basic configuration, and then after you configure this one, you just need to enter the interface and to enable the MPLS IP here. Okay, so this is all the configuration about the LDP protocol. So you can see here the configuration is not difficult. Yes, the configuration is not difficult. And then next I want to show you a little experiment about this configuration here. Okay, so I will use our SPOTO's cloud library to show you the configuration. And for this one, this is the topology. Actually, this topology is same one with the PowerPoint here. So this one is the same. It's the same topology. And for all the configuration here, we can see here. Okay, so right, I can connect it to the router. Yeah, so this is the R1, yes. And for the R1, the first principle, I hope you still remember this. The first principle of the LDP is we must configure the IGP protocol. Yes, we must configure the IGP protocol. So I can use the command show run to check it. I want to let you to see it. I configure the OSPF here. Okay, I configure OSPF and I network the loopback address of R1 and the network segment. This one is this network segment. So I want all the network can communicate with each other. Yes? So I want to achieve this end. So we can use so IV root. Okay, so you can find here. This is the routing table of the R1. You can find here. You know the IP address, know the routing information to 2.2.2 to 3.3.3 and to 4.4.4.4. Yes. So the second principle we just talk about the LDP protocol is we must enable the root ID be reachable. Okay, so I just follow all the two principles we just talked. So next we need to configure the MPLS. Okay, so before we do this, we can use a command to check it. We have a command called the show MPLS forwarding table. So this is the MPLS forwarding table, and we can find here the level is no level. Yes, that's no level, and then we need to configure this. So first one. Configure the termination, and then we use the command the MPLS level, and the protocol is the LDP, and also this command is the default configuration. Okay, this command is the default configuration. It means actually you don't need to configure this. Okay, and then we need to configure the route ID here. So this one, the MPLS LDP route ID is the loopback 0. Is the loopback 0, and we use the false to make the IP address of the loopback interface to become the route ID. Okay, so this is the configuration about this one, and then you need to enter the the interface. So for R1, it just has one interface connected to the network. It's E0/0. And for this one, we need to interface the E0/0 here to use the command as a MPLS IP here. Okay, just this one is the MPLS IP. It's just all the configuration about the MPLS. Okay, and the configuration is simple, but we still have very detailed knowledge we need to learn about the LDP. So next class, I will show you more details about the LDP protocols. Okay, so for this class, we just learn some basic knowledge, and this is all the configuration about R1, and for R2 actually the configuration is the same. We just need to configure the route ID is 2.2.2.2 and enable the MPLS IP in E0/0 and E0/1. So I don't need to configure it here. I think it's easy, and I just use the R1 to do it as an example. Okay. So next, after you do the configuration, you need to check it. Use the do show MPLS forwarding table. Okay, so you will find here, if the R1 wants to forward the packet to 4.4.4.4, yes, this one, and then the R1 will check the MPLS forwarding table. It will find the outgoing level is 18, yes, outgoing level is 18. So the R1 will forward the packet with the level 18. So it means in this part, the level will be 18 here. Okay? So it means when R2 receives the packet with the level 18 here, so we check it. Show MPLS forwarding table. We can find here the in level is 18. Yes, you can find here the in level is 18. The R1 will use the level 18 to search the forwarding table. It will find this one can match the in level 18, and actually the last one cannot match it. So when R2 find this one can match, it will find the outgoing level is also 18. Okay, the outgoing level is also 18. And so we can know here the in level can be equal to the outgoing level. Okay, so R1 receives the in level is 18, and the R1 will know this packet is going to 4.4.4.4, and I need to forward it through E0/1 to the 10.1.23.3, and the destination is 4.4.4.4. Yes, so it means between R2 and R3, the level is still 18. Yes, so R3 will receive the MPLS packet, and also we can check it in R3 here. Okay, we just use it to check it. Show MPLS forwarding table. Okay, we can find here when R3 receives the MPLS level with the level we just talked about it. It's 18, yes. The level is 18. So R3 will check the MPLS forwarding table with the in level is 18. So it means the destination is this one, and the outgoing interface is this one, and the next hop is this one. And actually we find something interesting. Yes, you can see here the outgoing level is called the POP level. Yes, it's called POP level. So what's the meaning of this level? And so we find here, so it means when R3 to forward it to R4, the outgoing level is called POP level. And actually this level is the special level, is the number of this level is 3, but it's called the POP level. So next we learn something about this one, why the outgoing level is POP level. Okay, so we learn about this one. Okay, for this topology we can see it here, and for this topology, so okay, I just need to clear the screen here. Sorry. Okay, and for this topology we can find it here. There's 4 different routers here, and sorry. I can't clear it, so we just continue to use the pencil. Okay, so for this topology, we have 4 different routers, and we just talk about the RTA tries to visit the RTDS. So for this step, RTC will forward the packet according to 17. In this process, we just said the out level is 17, but in the lab, in the experiment, we find the outgoing level is called pop level. Yes, it's called pop level. So why? So I will tell you about this. If in this situation the out level is 17, it means when RTD receives the packet first, listen carefully, first RTD will check the MPLS forwarding table, yes, and the RTD will check the in level is 17, and the RTD check the in level 17, and then it will find the destination address is 4.4.4.4, and then RTD will find the destination is directly connected to itself. So RTD will remove the in level, and then we find the outgoing level is none. Yes, it will remove the in level. So actually, when RTD remove the in level, this packet become a normal IP packet. Okay, so RTD will continue to search the IP forwarding table to find the destination is directly connected to him, and the packet will be transmitted through this outgoing interface. Okay, so we can summarize here. The router, this router RTD is the last router. The router will search the routing table and at first, then it will find the destination is itself. Yes, so the router will remove the label, and then the packet will become the normal IP packet. So next, the router will search the IP forwarding table, and then it can be forward according to the IP table. So maybe I think for the last router, RTD is too much pressure for the last hop router. So we use a different function, called the PHP. It's called the penultimate hop popping. Okay, and we just said for the last router it has too much pressure. Yes, it need to remove the label and then search the IP forwarding table. Okay, so we want this step, remove the label to this one. It means the last router will not need to remove the label. The penultimate router RTC will remove the label. So it means for this process here, we can say RTA send it with the label is 19, and RTB remove this in label, and we add a new out label is 18 to RTC. So when RTC receives the in label is 18, and then RTC find the out label is 3, it calls the pop label. So RTC will realize is the penultimate router. So actually RTC will remove the label. Okay, RTC will remove the label. So it means between RTC and the RTD is the normal IP packet with the destination address is 4.4.4.4, and then when RTD receives this packet, it's just the normal IP packet. It means RTD will forward it according to the IP table. Okay, so for this function called PHP is used to reduce the pressure of the last router. So if we don't have this, the last router need to search the MPLS forwarding table at first, and then the router need to remove the label to let the MPLS packet to become a normal IP packet. Then the router need to search the IP forwarding table. So it's too much steps the last router need to do. So we'll reduce the pressure. We let the penultimate router RTC to remove the lever. So it means when the last router receives the packet, it's the normal IP packet. So this is called the PHP here. So it's the default function of the LDP protocol. It means when you configure the LDP, the default situation is just like this. The penultimate router will have the special outgoing lever 3. It's called the POP lever. The penultimate router will remove the lever. So I repeat it again. Okay, it's used to reduce the pressure of the last device. So this is all the knowledge about today's sharing class about the MPLS. So we just learned about the IP forwarding table and why we need to use the MPLS here. And so next we talk about how to establish the RSP here. The first one is the static and the second one is the dynamic. Okay. And for the dynamic RSP, we usually use the LDP protocol. Okay, we usually use the LDP. And for this class, we just use a little lab about the LDP protocol. And if you want to learn more details about the LDP, so our SPOTO has the next class about the LDP protocol. I will tell you more details. So just like how can the routers establish the LDP level? So how can the routers exchange the level? So these details, if you want to learn it, don't miss our SPOTO sharing class about the LDP. So how to search us? So we have 2 homepage here. So first one is the SPOTO CCIE Club. So you can just search SPOTO CCIE Club to follow us, and then you will find the next live class link. So you can follow us, and so you will not miss the live class about the next serial class. Our SPOTO will continue to provide you some free serial class. Okay. So also for the tool, you just need to search the SPOTO here, and you will find this our homepage. Okay. So the last point is don't forget to follow us. Okay. To follow us, to subscribe us, and we will continue to provide you some free live course about the routing and switch. And if you want to learn some knowledge, so you can tell us, and we will provide you about this knowledge. Okay. And SPOTO CCIE Club and SPOTO. Okay, don't forget it. And then next one is about our SPOTO's reports here. So our SPOTO can provide the free live course, and also maybe after the update or before the update, we will provide the serial class. So if you want to learn it, you can tell us, and then we are providing you some exam materials to help you pass the CCIE certification. Okay, so if you want to get some certification about the Cisco, you can scan this QR code to add us, to join us CCIE study group. So this is all the reports here. Okay, and so don't forget to join us, scan this QR code. And before the Cisco update, you still have actually like more than 200 days to get your CCIE certification. Okay, if you have any questions, you can scan this QR code to add the group, and welcome to ask us and tell us what's your requirement. Okay guys, so time flies. It's time to say goodbye, and that's all for our today's live class. So okay, search us and follow us. Don't miss our next time live. Okay, and then bye. Okay, bye. If you have any questions, scan the QR code and tell us. Okay, you will find me in this group. If you want to have some questions and you want to learn something, you can scan the QR code and tell us. Okay. Okay, bye bye.